to shut off.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
there
know,
we
like,
go.
just shape-wise.
Yeah. Right.
That one's a little.
That's okay. Like, I mean,
Like,
even
look at that.
that's like really close, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, the ultimate goal would get it to fall another 7 or 8 feet left.
Right.
Or I'm sorry,
Oh,
7
right.
or 8 feet right.
Yeah.
You know, but that's really
But
good.
start line's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
You know, height's
Yep.
good.
Yeah. I mean,
Speed's-
realistically,
ball
even-
speed's good.
yeah, really good, right? So
I
again,
carried 58.
yeah, right. So back to kind of that smash factor.
Yeah, right.
When we get that shoulder working down, I know it feels really weird because you almost feel like you're tilting or leaning left, but all we're doing is just we're maintaining. It's called side bend, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're
Yeah, the
maintaining
left side
that.
bend.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's crazy is for me, coming from a place where I'm flat, shoulders are flat,
yeah,
arms are up and down.
yeah,
Now, shoulders are up and down.
Yeah.
And so where you're trying to get the opposite feel, shoulders are going up and down, right? Arms are more flat.
yeah.
The first thing I want to do is get shoulders down.
I know. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's where you feel, if you see me whipping it inside, is because
Right.
I'm fighting this urge I have to go shoulders down and lift it up.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to go shoulders down and just let it flatten out.
Yeah, exactly, right? And
Feel-wise.
Yeah, exactly, right? And we've talked about, you know, like checking yourself in a mirror, right? So a good position for you is kind of when you're tilted this way, just get your left arm kind of on your shoulder plane. For you, because your height and what we're trying to do with the rotation, right? If your left arm is on your plane or on your shoulder plane or just slightly above, that's okay, right? We don't really want it running through your neck or
Or
something.
even in between,
Right,
right.
yeah, right? So on your shoulder plane or just slightly above.
Right.
So anywhere
That's
in
good.
here to even there would be
What
okay.
we don't want is that.
Exactly, right? You know, and then that's going to be because it gets too lifty.
Okay.
Right?
So that's just more down with the left shoulder and then staying down, I guess I'd call it, as I'm turning left.
Yeah, you just have the ability to stay in it. There you go.
It definitely has a different sound with the mirrors, you know, like the
Yeah, yeah. It definitely comes. It sounds to me like when you have this action,
Yeah.
right? And again, we look at smash factor numbers, right? And they're through the roof. They definitely come off hotter with
Right,
this.
Right. Like that was a 60, pulled it a little bit, but 60 carry.
Yeah.
And 90 feet in the air. I mean, that's not the shot I normally hit.
Right.
I feel like I'm jammed up, Sean.
Feel like you're too close to it?
I did. Because I feel like, just think about it, coming from a horizontal thing, my orientation doesn't change feel-wise
Yeah.
to the ball because my shoulders are flat and my arms are going up.
Yeah.
Now I feel like the minute I go down, I've moved closer to the ball, is what I feel like.
Yeah.
And then I'm sort of disoriented. So
Okay.
could I move back from the ball?
Let's
Or-
hit one where you feel like you're a little bit farther.
Okay.
Okay.
So this would be normal setup. Let's just
Yeah.
go there.
Okay. Okay. Let's hit one from there.
I feel like I have more room.
More room. Right. So
I feel like before, think about it, if my motion was set up, vertical, shallow out, and
Yeah.
flip, you don't want to be like this
Right.
to do that.
yeah.
But now if I'm going to turn and really get a good turn, and I have all this room and I'm going to turn, if I'm too close,
Yeah.
it's going to promote me coming out of it, I think.
Yeah, let's have TrackMan. Let's hit one. We'll have TrackMan take a video
Okay.
and we'll look at it.
Okay, so hit a normal one?
Normal. Well, hit the room. Give me one with
More
the more
room?
room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would be a normally kind of setup. And this would be what I feel like is a little more room. And I just feel like I can stay down on it
Agreed, 100%.
a little better.
I mean, that's perfect, especially if it starts 2.5 yards farther left.
Yeah, it started a little too far right. but
Right? If
yeah.
it starts 2.5 yards farther left, big carry, right? 161, right?
Right.
Normally, when we talk, you're not pulling 8-iron from 160 yards.
No, it's 50.
Right? Yeah. Right.
Like if you said it's 55 carry, I'd be like, I better choke a 7.
Right.
Now I'm like, I can go ahead and, hit an 80 if the carry's 58.
So let's have you hit the next one, just because of where TrackMan
Yeah.
is. Let's have you hit the next one from right there.
Okay.
Let me see something real quick. Yeah, go ahead, hit the next one from there.
Again, same thing with creating more space.
Yeah, exactly, more space.
So,
Let's
easiest
go. Actually, let's go
there.
right there.
Okay, and I'm still aiming left of the middle one, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, just slightly,
Just
right?
slightly, right?
So like we're trying to basically get the ball to
To
hit the
start
screen
Just left.
right where the arrow is.
Where the arrow is, yeah. Okay.
Right.
So this would be sort of my normal orientation.
Yeah.
I open the face now that we've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So to create more room, I'm just gonna go here.
Okay. Good. Left shoulder goes down and rotate. Good. Now we
Not
moved
quite
this
as far
way,
left,
but
right.
that's okay. But I think as we moved more to the right, okay,
Mhm.
the shot shape is fine, right? So let's look at a little bit better. So, right, the lighting is not the best,
Sure.
but if we look at
So what are you gonna look at? My tush to see if it stays back?
yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
look at that. We're gonna draw a couple lines, right? So,
Yeah.
line here, kind of on your shaft plane at address.
Yeah.
If we draw a line down your tailbone here, right?
And then what about my head?
Right?
Top
Yeah.
of the head?
So like this, right? So a line here,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And then a line on the face.
Okay.
Okay, like this. Okay.
So in an ideal swing, you would want me to stay within these parameters, just rotating.
Correct, right? You know.
And my tendency would be this goes this way,
Yeah.
that goes that way.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And then this is gonna come in high.
Yep. Yeah.
It's gonna come in high regardless.
a little bit, right?
But I probably am way too high.
Right, okay. So, if we kind of worked this kind of back, right? I mean, this is pretty good, right? This is kind of what I would want to see with you. I would want to see it working above the plane a little bit,
Yeah.
so that when we get to the top, right?
Yeah. That's just a little too
This,
long.
okay, so now here we go, right? So, why does it get a little bit long? Well, it gets a little bit long because you get back to having too much dish angle,
Okay.
too much cup at the top,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Tailbone here is good. We can actually see your pants behind the line,
Yeah.
right? So you're getting depth. You're,
Depth
you're
of the
trying to
pelvis.
create depth.
Yeah.
Really good shoulder tilt,
But my arms are a little high.
right? Just a touch, right? That could be a hair bit of the camera angle because the TrackMan camera is a little bit low.
Okay.
Don't worry too much about that.
Okay.
It's not awful.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Then this is what we would want. Okay. Is as you come through, this is good. Look, the arms and hands are shallowing. Right. So if we
Right.
look at where your hands are here,
Yes.
as you transition, they're kind of falling back towards your
Deeper.
right shoulder.
Yeah.
Right. And then the shaft is shallowing. So I mean, you're coming down. Right. It's a little bit steep here. So if we can get the head to be farther back,
Okay.
then we have the money move.
Okay.
Okay? Because right now, see how it's coming
It's
a
coming
little
up.
bit from the out?
Yes.
Right? To be honest with you, it doesn't come back too dissimilar to the shaft plane at address. It's just higher. It's a similar motion, right?
Right.
So look at how much your tailbone's off the line here.
Yes.
And your head is actually, it shrunk. Okay? Right? So you've kind of gone this way.
Okay.
Right? So you kind of crunched, you crunched all this in
Yes.
instead of letting it expand,
Let it expand.
right?
Okay.
So when what happens with, right? So this is what happens with, guys on really good players and tour players. So the pelvis
Mhm.
actually works, as it rotates, it works this way through the ball.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
you're actually working into it, you're sucking your rear end off, and you're like this, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So your head got too low,
Yeah.
and your tailbone worked too much off the line.
Okay.
Instead of getting to the top where we're in this position,
Yeah.
this shallows,
Yeah.
and then it goes like that, right?
Okay.
So set up to one.
Okay.
Right, so get it to the top. Yeah, right. So if you were right there, if I just took the head, for example, and I said, okay, let the head go this way,
Okay.
right? And then you would rotate and turn, right? And then the
Right, so-
handle would go so much more left,
Yes.
right? So right now when you get to the top, because it's still a little cupped and across the line,
Yeah.
you kind of throw it a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. When I come down, I do a little shallow, but then, like you said, when I get here, I steepen.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Right?
you're saying feel the opposite, let it shallow, feel opposite.
Yeah, it's what's going to actually happen is it's going to steepen into the ball, but it's going to steepen much later. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that'll eliminate this move. The steepening is going to assist me with flipping it.
Yeah. Right.
If it steepens late, you can't flip it.
Correct.
Yeah, I
Right?
understand what
So
you're saying.
if you look at right, so if you look at Kepka, right, if we get to the top,
Mhm.
right, again, I'll draw the same lines here. So shaft plane, tailbone, right, tailbone here, head. Right, so if we look at these lines real quick,
Yeah.
right, as we're playing it through, right, he's going to be above the plane on the takeaway, which is fine.
Yep.
Okay, so it gets a little bit above, right?
Yeah.
He gets in a very similar position to
Then
what
I
you
do.
look like,
Yeah,
right?
he's a little above. His left
Right.
arm's a little above the shoulder.
Right. Here's the biggest difference, okay? Is if it stopped right there and that's where the shaft was, right? Those two positions would almost be very identical, right? I mean, realistically, maybe you dropped your head a smidge more
Smidge more.
because you're trying to feel left shoulder down,
Right.
but the left arm and the shoulder plane
The arm
would
structure's
almost be
similar.
pretty similar.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Okay. This is where the change happens, okay?
Okay.
As he changes directions, right? See how the head is falling behind,
Yeah, I almost let
right?
yeah, it's weird.
Right? So now look at where when he's coming in,
Where the
see how
head
much
is.
farther head behind him the head is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now from here, it's going to steepen. But it did all this shallowing to start with.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's going to steepen, and it gets back to be just a little bit above the shaft plane. Okay,
Where mine is steep right
right?
now.
Oh yeah, right. Right here, you're in
Like
big
it's
time
coming,
trouble
it's
through your
coming
shoulder.
Through my shoulder. and
Right.
It needs to be more through the elbow.
Yeah, or your bicep to elbow area.
Yeah, no higher than the bicep.
Right. Okay. And then from there it's just a turn, right?
Right.
So if we look at impact, see how we can see a little bit of his left butt cheek,
Yeah, I'm way off the
and you're off the line,
Okay.
right?
So
So
I'm scrunched up like you said.
right.
He doesn't
Alright.
really look scrunched up. He looks more
Side bend,
side bent.
right? So when we talk about
And I'm like too close to the ball.
Yes.
Honestly, and I
Yes.
feel like that's what I'm doing.
right, so when we talk about your side bend on the backswing,
Yes.
you
It's a
need
re-
side bend on the through swing too,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So you're okay with me feeling as I work the club up.
All right, let me do this real quick, Mike.